Motivation. Well, motivation can be defined as to having a drive to take part and to persist in an activity. If we look at this into a sporting context, well, it's the tendency of an individual or a team to begin and then to carry out with activities in their chosen sport. It's also the direction and the intensity of your effort whilst taking part in sport, and it's sometimes critical to success. Intrinsic motivation. This is without external reward. It's without the primary motivation being that of the achievement. It's more so the playing for fun or because it makes the participant feel good. There are three parts of intrinsic motivation, and they are accomplishment, stimulation, and knowledge. So if we start off at accomplishment, this is the participant increasing their level of skill. Stimulation is the participant feeling a type of adrenaline rush, or it could be a feeling of excitement to take part in something. Finally, knowledge is the participant self-reflecting on their own performance, them desiring to develop new techniques or skills. Extrinsic motivation. This is when someone behaves the way they do because of an external mechanism, something from the outside affecting them. This is usually through the use of tangible and intangible rewards. Tangible being something from the outside that you can physically feel and touch that is in front of you, such as money, medals or rewards. Intangible being something such as praise or encouragement from someone else, such as, in a sporting context, a coach. So let's look at the effectiveness of extrinsic motivation. Frequent external rewards can have little value after time, almost losing its impact on performance for a participant. A coach should know the individual needs of their participant to maximise the effect of extrinsic rewards. Extrinsic rewards can also decrease the intrinsic motivation of an athlete. If extrinsic motivation is used, generally intrinsic motivation will decrease. However, if it is used to provide feedback to the athlete, it can benefit them to improve their intrinsic motivation. However, it is the way that the athlete perceives and understands the extrinsic motivation determines how it will affect the intrinsic motivation. Achievement motivation theory. This was proposed by Atkinson, and achievement motivation comes from the individual's personality and it's their motivation to strive to succeed. The drive to carry on when it gets difficult, in case there's any obstacles in the way of the goal, or when they fail. Atkinson grouped athletes into two categories: the need to achieve and the need to avoid failure. Everyone has aspects of both knack and NAF, but it's the differences between the two motives that make up somebody's achievement motivation. The attribution theory. This looks at how people explain success or failure. It starts to help your understanding of an athlete's actions and motivations. Attributions provide explanations for your successes or failures, and they will fall into one of these following categories: stability, whether the participant has a stable or unstable attribution; causality, so whether the cause comes from an external or internal source; and finally control, whether or not the outcome is under your control. So let's look at some examples of attribution theory, and if we start off with winning examples, so for stability, If the attribute was stable, the participant might say that they are more able than their opponent. An unstable attribute might be saying that they were lucky to beat their opponent. Causality, an internal attribution might say that they tried hard. An external might be that the opponent was easy to beat. Control, something that was under the participant's control was how hard they trained. Not under control was how hard the opponent trained and if they were fitter. If we move on to losing examples of stability to start with, for a stable, the participant was less able than their opponent. Unstable might be that they had no luck, that they needed to win that day. Causality might be that an internal attribute was that they didn't try hard enough. External, but their opponent was impossible to beat. And finally for control, something that was under their control was how they didn't train hard enough, and something they had no control over was that they were fitter than them.